Good morning, New York! What's going on, everybody? Top of the morning to everybody. I know it's early. I'd never do live streams this early. Had the day off today, so I was like, yeah, man, let's go live for John Harbaugh's first speech today, man. Let's go live for John Harbaugh's first speech as New York Giants head coach. We'll be sharing the screen pretty soon, and we'll watch together, guys, and then we'll head out of here because I got some errands to run, stuff like that. But just wanted to experience it with you guys and try to listen in and talk to the chat a little bit. What's up, Mike? What's going on? So it's going to be starting very, very soon. I have the stream pulled up already. So we're right now it's just a waiting game on when they're gonna start. Now the thing is, right? I hope they're not late. I hope I'm not just sitting here twiddling my thumbs. Now listen, the only person that can be late is me. All right. I'm usually late to my own live streams, but I wasn't late today. Maybe I was late. Maybe like 2 minutes late. I scheduled for 11:45, but hopefully that they're not late. They better start this on time. Yeah, it's not going to be a Joe Schoen thing. Now, the first person we're going to see is probably Joe Schoen. All right, just to let you guys know, the first person we're going to see is probably Joe Schoen. If you guys remember Brian Dable's first press conference, I don't know if John Mara first spoke, but I know Joe Schoen was the one to introduce Brian Dable. So we're probably going to see Joe Schoen first. So maybe we will be late because Joe Schoen is trying to understand the questions. You know, what's up, Mike? What's up, Kenya? What's going on? What is going on? Let's go. Guys, I can't believe this is real. You know, looking at the photos of on the New York Giants Instagram or Twitter or whatever, you see John Harbaugh has arrived, and ironically so, John Harbaugh also has a Ford F-150. Okay. Also has a Ford, so I guess it's like a universal symbol of hope, you know. Brian Dable had the blue Ford F-150, and I think John Harbaugh had a black one. So I don't know. I think I kind of chalk it down to like a symbol of hope. Logie Bear, what's going on? Is that Logan? What's up, man? Didn't they do Shane and Dable together? I thought. No. Because Shane got hired, and then they hired Brian Dable, and then he's like, I would love to introduce to you the 20th head coach of the New York Giants, Brian Dable. That's when I made that edit of Brian Dable. But they got introduced separately, I think. I think Joe Schoen got hired first. If I'm not mistaken. Joe Schoen got hired in January. Brian Dable, like early January. I think Brian Dable got hired a little later. I could be wrong. Ford, he needs to be fired. I know. Hey, I don't know. You see a lot of these football players and like people in the football world, they have like these big ass trucks. I don't know. Maybe it's a manly thing. Maybe it's a masculine thing. I don't know. But we saw John Harbaugh arrive like either last night or 2 nights ago to the Giants facility, and he pulled up in a black Ford F-150. This is similar enough to Brian Dable when he came out. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Can we just reminisce a little bit on when Brian Dable, like the Brian Dable images when he first arrived? Like we really thought like that was the guy. Like we looked at him and we were like, yo, look at the aura that he resonates with, that he emits when he gets out of that Ford F-150. I'll be honest with you, there was no aura that come out of John Harbaugh when he got out of that truck with his wife. There was just no aura at all. But maybe that's the change that we needed. I don't know. Dable had a lot of aura getting out of his truck. Not a lot of aura coming out of John Harbaugh there, but we'll see. I have the stream running. I'm not gonna share screen yet because it's just a blank screen. The chat is live over there. They got a lot going on over there. A lot of people in there already. Holy moly. 2022 Brian. I know, man. I know. You notice he didn't lock up his truck? Yeah, he didn't. He probably just knew. He probably was a little nervous because he knew everybody was watching him, so he probably just got out of his truck. He's like, all right, like let's get out the truck now. Shane didn't lock up his truck either. He didn't lock up his truck too. I didn't see Joe Shane arriving at the. Does Joe Shane have a truck too? Does Joe Shane have a truck too? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Let me start getting ready to share the screen though, just in case. Good thing I mean, the good thing about YouTube is I shouldn't get copyrighted for this. But let me put the right setting. This one. I'm blocking up the YouTube chat. Sorry guys, but well, this is the Giants YouTube chat. Blocking that up. My bad. I'll put this. I can't put this up right now. It just covers my face. Well, he just signed a fat contract, so he'll probably get something a little nicer. Hey, bro, but Ford F-150s, if you get like the deluxe models, I don't really know what they really I don't know if it's called Raptor. No, not the Raptor. The Raptor's more expensive. There are Ford F-150s going for like $100,000. Okay, they're not cheap. Ford F-150s are not cheap. They are not regular ass cars, regular ass trucks. They never start on time. Yeah, I know. But I figured I'd go on a little earlier just to talk to the chat before we do start because I don't want to keep you're not going to see me interrupting too much on what John Harbaugh is saying. Unless he says something of note, I'll probably give it a little pause real quick, give my thoughts, and then we'll keep going. But I wanted to talk to the chat first before we start because this is honestly the first time I've talked to you guys since he's been officially hired. Like, I had a lot of stuff to do as of late since he got hired, and I wasn't able to like do a stream or make a video. And you guys know I've made a bunch of videos on John Harbaugh, either potentially being hired or when he was first announced as him going to be hired. So I just didn't make a video on when he was officially like signed everything. So this is kind of like my first time talking to you guys since then. Congrats on John Harbaugh, Kid Blue. Well deserved. Thought he was gonna pull out last minute. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I made that little short that everybody said, and a lot of you guys did not like that, and that's fine because I guess I was bringing down the vibes. But you got to understand, I've been making content for the New York Giants for over 10 years now. Okay, crazy to say, 10 years. I'm an OG in this. Okay, you think about. I think the only people that like outrank me as far as like seniority goes is like Cop Hizzle and Bad Dog. Okay, I've been making videos longer than any other New York Giants content creator on here. Besides those two, and there has never been anything good to actually happen for the Giants since like as far as like good news, like something like this. Like, what's the best news that of signing a player since I've been here, or like drafting a player? It was probably when Saquon Barkley, because I was a huge Saquon Barkley guy. Like, that's probably the happiest I've been as a New York Giants content creator, and I don't think I've been any happier. Oh my God, do you guys remember the Kenny Galladay sweepstakes? Like, that was like the pinnacle of how happy I was as a Giants content creator, and you guys know how that turned out, okay? So you guys can't fault me for being a little pessimistic on the John Harbaugh situation because I thought it was just taking too long, even though I've been hearing from multiple sources that, oh, this process doesn't take that. I mean, you would think it's very quick, but I promise you this is how long it takes. And then, did you guys see on Twitter? And then all the insiders were like, oh, we were bluffing the whole entire time. You guys actually had a reason to be worried because apparently nothing was even close to being done by Saturday. And in fact, his agents were reaching out to the Titans as late as Saturday. He signed, when was it? When did he sign, guys? When did he officially sign? Monday? Sunday? Or Saturday night? No, it happened in the morning, right? Or I don't remember. But I know as long as Saturday, I saw on the tweet that nothing was even close to being finalized, and the Titans were in communication with John Harbaugh's party. So Saturday at 3, I'm telling you guys, there was a reason to worry, okay? When you get an announcement, when something leaks like that, because it wasn't leaked. It wasn't leaked. The Giants just said, hey, announce that we have John Harbaugh as our head coach. It wasn't leaked. This was something that was information that was given to them, okay? They would not say that unless they're ready to sign those papers. When have you guys seen a situation like this? Even with Kevin Stefanski of the Falcons, he announced that he was getting signed, and boom, now they're starting to get their coaches in here and stuff like that. Like, there was no workaround where, oh, they're still working out a contract. Oh, it's just a matter of time now. Oh, no need to worry here. Once they announce it, they're pretty much ready to sign. And it took like 3 days. It took like 3 days, man. So, of course, I'm going to get worried. But a lot of you guys had to calm down that it was going to work out, and it did work out. So, shout out to everybody that commented that. Let me make sure I'm not going to miss it. Yeah, all right. Oh, I have it. I have the screen shared anyway. All right, we're good. And then when they start, I'll put the background music down. Let me take a swig of water real quick. Oh, no, they are late. Harbaugh changed his mind. I'm mad. Yo, when they fired Sean McDermott, oh, my gosh, bro. I was like, thank God the Giants finalized that contract when they did. Because John Harbaugh... Because all he did was do a verbal agreement. John Harbaugh could have backed out of his verbal agreement. You can't blame him on it. It was just a verbal agreement, and he could have said, "Yo, reach out to the Bills." And I got flack for that on Twitter. What makes you think the Bills are a better destination than the Giants? Are we serious? Guys, they go to the playoffs every single year. Yeah, they don't win. They don't go to the championship, but they have a elite quarterback like Josh Allen, who didn't play well in that divisional game. I understand that. But an elite quarterback like Josh Allen, you have a lot of pieces there. I think a lot of the top end talent, the Giants have a lot better. But they're more rounded out than the Giants. And if John Harbaugh is the guy where he says, I want to be the CEO of the roster, then he's not going to worry about the current state of the roster, because he's going to change it. He's going to be confident in himself to do it. So I feel like John Harbaugh would have definitely went for the Bills. But somebody did mention to me that Brandon Beane would never want to give up his power, and I agree with that too. And Brandon Beane got a promotion. Brandon Beane got a promotion with the Bills. That is nuts. The state of that roster right now is not fantastic. It's not ideal. You cannot listen. Josh Allen had a lot to blame for in that divisional round, but he would have had to play hero ball and have to try to do everything himself if that roster was a lot better, especially the wide receivers. How the hell are you just picking up guys off the street like Brandon Cooks, drafting someone like Keon Coleman who can't run a route for his life, who only wins on 50-50 balls and does not have groundbreaking speed? I knew he was going to be a bust. Who else do they have over there? I like Khalil Shakir. Shout out to my Boise State Bronco. Khalil Shakir is their best wide receiver. I'm sorry, I love Khalil Shakir. If your best receiver is him, come on, bro. Come on. But you gotta love Dalton Kincaid, though. Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox are awesome, but the rest of those receivers, man, terrible. Brandon Cooks, wide receiver 1 a year. Yeah, and he just signed. He had just signed with them. Josh Allen with 4 turnovers and still took the lead 27-24 with 3 minutes left. I know. Josh Allen, bro, I don't care what anybody says. I know it's because he always like flames out in the playoffs. Josh Allen's elite, bro. The thing is with Josh Allen, he's going to fizzle out because he's constantly asked to do everything by himself. You can't expect this guy to just completely carry the team to the Super Bowl. I know a lot of people love to say that because he's been to MVP before, but guy, like let's be real about that. You have to give him some support, supporting cast. You know. Now he has a great run game with James Cook. He adds to the run game as well. But there it is again. He adds so much to that offense that here we go.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is obviously
Whoa,
an
put that
exciting
game
time
down.
for the New York Giants as we're set to introduce our next head football coach. Before I get started, I'd like to thank ownership, John Mara and the entire Mara family, Steve Tisch and the Tisch family. Julia
I told you the
Cook
first
and her
voice
family,
we're gonna first guy
along
we're
with
gonna
the
see is
entire
Joe
football
Shane.
operation for your commitment and your collaboration throughout this process. When we set out, we were looking for a proven winner and an elite leader. We're fortunate.
Yo,
we were
why
able
is
to
he
find
out of
both.
breath? This guy
John
looks
Harbaugh's amassed
really nervous.
193 career victories, 13 playoff wins, and a Super Bowl championship. John has built a foundation of culture, player development, and toughness throughout each of his programs that he's been a part of.
Is
He's
he
a proven
okay?
winner. And when we set out to do this, we knew that John was going to be the perfect person for the New York Giants. When we did our research, what continually came up was John's respect that the players had for him.
Is he
and the
okay?
ability to
For real?
develop young
I'm
men.
asking legitimately. Is he all
With
right?
that being said, I would like to introduce to you the next head football coach of the New York Giants, John Harbaugh.
Look how fast he ran off the stage. Bro, I'm not even joking with you. I think he was like about to have a panic
Thanks,
attack.
Joe. Appreciate that very much. And what an honor. What an exciting moment. Walk in here and
That was weird.
they say New York.
That's my coach right
That's probably true, man.
Coach!
This is pretty amazing right here. You see those players back there?
Woo, baby!
Those
Hold
guys
on.
Smiling and ready to go to work. That gets me fired
Oh,
up.
I can't.
Too.
I got
So,
headphones on.
To everybody, just thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
Damn it.
It's a profound honor to be entrusted with the responsibility of coaching the New York football Giants. Yeah.
Yeah!
My dad taught
Yes!
me the New York football Giants. They weren't just the Giants, they were the New York football Giants. Right, Dad?
That's right.
All the way back. One of the most iconic franchises in all of sports. I wanted this job. I think I told you that, Mr. Mayor. I wanted this job. I wanted this job. And to be on the biggest stage.
Thank you, Tyler Loop.
I know the challenges. I understand the expectations. I know the fans are hungry for a winner. We're here with one mission: to earn the right to be called the world champions in New York. And that's what we plan to do. Introduce my wife, Ingrid. I told you, now you're not coming up on the stage. No, you can just say hi. My wife, Ingrid. My daughter, Allison, she couldn't be here. She's at law school trying to survive right now, so she couldn't make it. She had class today. And my mom and dad, Jack and Jackie, are here. Thanks for being here, Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad taught us to attack this day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. Right? We learned that. And that's what we're going to do every single day. Jim and Joni, hey, out there. Jim, we're not in the AFC, Jim. You can breathe easy. But thank you to the Mara and the Tisch families who I had a chance to meet today. It's been incredible to get to know everybody better. Always had tremendous respect for these two families, starting with John Mara at the owners' meetings and all the competition committee meetings. We'd have all these conversations, and it goes way back. I thank them for their confidence and their partnership in this quest to build up our football team. Everyone involved, starting with John, Steve, Julia Koch, who I had a chance to meet today and talk to a little bit more.
She's rich.
Chris Mara was a big part of this. Joe Shane, so many conversations, Joe. Thanks. Just great getting to know you and the great football man that you are. Everybody in the organization has just been great. To the Ravens, I'd like to extend a profound thank you.
Respect.
To Steve and Ozzie for the opportunity, for the guidance that they provided every single day. To all the players and coaches who have been unrelenting brothers all along the way through the years. We did great things. Thanks, guys. But now as we begin a new chapter in New York, our focus is simple. It starts with building a team that is physical and tough, that's capable of overwhelming their opponent from beginning to end, and especially at the end, that understands how to finish. that is smart and disciplined, that plays the game the way it should be played, and that everybody watching it, including those playing it, will be proud of. We're going to work together. We got great and talented people to accomplish a shared mission. It'll be a relentless commitment to this organization, to the city, and the fans to do things the right way every single day. Nothing will be taken for granted. It will always, always be all about the team. The team, the team, the team. Thanks, Dad, for that. It'll always be about that. Now it's time to go to work. So with that, what questions do you have? Who's in charge of the questions here? Yeah.
He's so relaxed, so chill, like, but he's also like commands your respect. You know what I'm saying?
Andrew Rosario, New York Beacon News. 2 questions.
Exactly.
After 18 years of being a head coach, did you consider taking time off before getting back into the fire? And as you look at this roster, can you tell the fans that they're ready to go to the next level and get to the playoffs?
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. As far as taking some time off, I figured I didn't have enough time to take time off. There's no time for that. So just couldn't wait to get back to work. That was never a question.
That's
really.
a shot at Mike Tomlin right there.
Ingrid's ready to go.
That's a shot at Mike Tomlin right there.
Fired up, and it had to be the right opportunity. This was kind of the obvious one from the beginning. This was the one, like I said, I wanted, and I wanted it because of that very thing you just talked about. We have an opportunity to go win, you know, and I like these players, man. I had a chance to watch tape. I like the way they play. I like their style. I like how physical and how tough they are. And I know they want to be successful and they want to go to work. So absolutely, we can do that. And that's.
Sorry, this is my first pause. That really goes. Listen to what he just said there. That really goes to show that when he watches the film, we have talent on this roster. Okay, this roster is talented. All right. If you got a coach like John Harbaugh watching us on film and saying, "Bro, there are good players here. We can be a lot better than what they're putting out on film," that gives me a lot of confidence. It gives me a lot of confidence that there is a good roster. There is something that we can work with and we can win with the right pieces around, like the right coaches.
It's our plan to do that. The plan is to win every game. I mean, one game at a time. You go into every game planning to win that game. That's our expectation. That's what we will be expecting to do that. But we've got to earn the right to expect that by how we go to work and prepare and what kind of a team that we make ourselves into.
Hey, John, Connor Hughes, SNY. How
Connor,
much of a role did Jackson Dart play in your desirability for this job, and what do you believe he's capable of?
A lot. You know, it's a lot.
That's a great question because the quarterback's kind of important.
Exactly.
That's kind of a big deal.
Exactly.
And I'm excited about Jackson Dart, you know, and
just hearing John Harbaugh say Jackson Dart with the Giants.
I saw him complete a bunch of passes. Yeah, I know. There you go. I saw you. I had you know. Oh my! Remember that game, right? It was a great game for you. And
Jackson is there.
It starts with the quarterback for sure. I mean, the quarterback. The quarterback has got to. You build your team around your quarterback. I mean, you build your team around your players and what they do well. And I like the way he plays. I mean, I like his talent, skill set, all the things he's accomplished. But more than that, I like who he is and what he's about. To me, he's about football. I mean, this young guy loves football. He wants to talk football all the time, and you know, and that's kind of what I like doing too. So I think we're gonna have a lot of great conversations. I can't wait to get started with him.
Let's go.
John, Mike Garofalo, NFL Network. Through the process, you had a chance to spend a lot of time and talk to Joe Shane a lot, the guy who just introduced you here. What was it about your interactions with him that led you to believe there's going to be great collaboration and cooperation here?
No question, Mike. Probably the conversations themselves is what led me to believe there would be great collaboration. I mean, you know, obviously you get to know Joe and we start talking ball and you see he's a football man. You know, this is a guy that this guy lives and breathes football. You know, his knowledge is deep. He knows the league. He knows the coaches in the league. He knows the players in the league. Probably knows all the scouts in the league too, I'll bet, you know. He was impressive to me, and it was just really a joy.
There's something
really dig
there.
into some of the plans that we might have going forward, see what we can build here. So I was impressed, very impressed.
There's something that we're missing here, man. I'm
Jackson
telling
Thompson,
you.
Fox News. Welcome.
Hey, Jackson.
Several days before you were hired,
Joe
President
Shane
Trump
looked like
put
he
out
was about to have a
post
panic attack.
advocating for you to become the next head coach of the Giants. How does it feel knowing the President of the United States has endorsed you for the job you're about to undertake?
It feels really great, and I'll tell you, I also noticed on that post that he said, "And John, take the job." So I thought that John Mara might have had something to do with that. I don't know, but it's cool, and it's sports. You know, it's sports, and everybody's excited. Everybody follows it at every level.
Yeah, even Trump
people
wanted
follow
him to take the
football,
job.
They
That's
follow
crazy.
the Giants. They follow the National Football League. Like we said, it's the biggest sport. You know, and this is it's the most iconic franchise in the biggest sport. So here we are.
John, Ryan Dunleavy from the New York Post. What are you looking for in your coordinators and your position coaches, and when will those interviews start, including anybody who is
Great question.
retained on staff?
Right. Well, we'll start tomorrow with the interviews. Obviously, great coaches, I believe, on this staff that we're looking forward to talking to. Talking to people all
Carmen
across the league,
Brasillo.
talking to people in Baltimore, obviously, too. We're going to try to build the very best. We will build the very best coaching staff that we can. I'll tell you, it'll be a great coaching staff. But my dad always said it starts with teachers. You know, coaches are teachers first. The ability to teach, the ability to take a vision that's well organized, a structure that's put together in a really good way that the players can play fast, play around their skill set. You got to create something like that, and then present it to the guys and train it in a way that the guys can get out there and play with a lot of confidence. You know, just cut it loose and play fast. And that's what we're going to try to do, and try to bring a bunch of coaches in there that are capable of building that. We're going to do that.
Bruce Beck, NBC4 New York. John, how do you build a winning culture, and how long will it take for this team to win?
You know, that's the second part's impossible to say, but I'm planning on day one. So that's what we'll be shooting for. That's what we'll be working for, and fully expect it to happen. You build anything together. You build it from the inside out. It's going to be a reflection. You know, culture is kind of a crazy word. You know, what does it really mean? You know, it's a worldview. It's a shared understanding. It's a vision. It's everybody being on the same page. It's talking the same language, all these kind of things, same values, same type of beliefs, right? Okay, that's like a social studies class maybe we're talking here. So what is it in football? It's a bunch of guys that see the game the same way. It's a bunch of guys that want to play the game together the same way. It's a relentless brotherhood, having each other's back, being unwilling to give up because that guy next to you is unwilling to give up. You know, all these things that these guys believe in. We'll decide what the culture looks like together every single day by what we do together, all right? And that's how you build it together.
Okay. Tom. Hey, John. Tom Rock from Newsday. How are you? One of your early mentors was Andy Reid, who has gone on to have a pretty successful second act in his career.
Pretty fair.
I'm sure you've spoken to him. What were some of the tips and maybe advice he gave to you about changing from one organization to another and finding that success?
Andy's a man of few words, and his 4 words to me were, change can be good. That's what he said. Change can be good. And he was excited. He's fired up for us. He's a good friend. And yeah, we'll try to do. You know what? How about we do this? How about we deal that right now? We'll sign up for that deal right now. What he did in Kansas City. Let's do that. Yeah.
Hey, John. Paul Schwartz with the New York Post. Hey, Paul. You mentioned coming in here that New York feels different and is different. You want everything in Baltimore. Obviously, you want a Super Bowl. What is your sense of New York and what it's going to be like for you and possibly winning here in New York?
Well, I mean, the skyline's a lot different. You know, I noticed that right away. You know, no 2 places are ever the same. You know, no 2 people are the same. You know, obviously you meet people in places and circumstances where you find them. So that's what we're going to do. You know, we're going to take every one of those things we meet head on and do the best we can with it every single day. And, you know, you say you do the best you can with it every single day. Well, that means a lot when you really think about what that means. I mean, are we really doing our best? Are we really putting everything we have into it for this day? Are we really attacking the day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind, another level? Is that possible? Is that something that we can accomplish? Can we have the best meeting and the best practice in the history of the National Football League? Can we? We can if we decide to, right, guys? We can if we decide to. You know, and when you do that day by day,
bro.
you build something, you take it onto the field, and you let the chips fly, and you go play some ball.
Yo, he has like a respect.
Art Stapleton
that
from the Bergen Record
everybody's
and
quiet.
NorthJersey.com.
Everybody's
just curious. You obviously 18 years ago you had a vision, and 18 years later, I'm sure you have that same vision.
Is that
But I'm
State
curious,
Arpleton?
From what you learned, do you come here knowing that the path can be different, and how much of that vision has changed through the years of what you want to do and how you build a champion?
Well, one of the things you learn a lot. One of the things is this: that there are principles, right? And the principles of the vision you're talking about, that's that word, are written in stone. And their football principles are self-evident truths. They aren't going to ever change. Those are things that you carry with you through 18 years or 42 years or whatever it is. You carry those principles with you. You learn what they are, and they're non-compromised. They can't be. They have to happen. The methods, those things are like drawn in the dirt. You're drawing up a play. Come on, guys. Here's what we're going to do, and you draw it in the dirt. You got to keep those things moving. Play calls, defensive schemes, blitz patterns, how you lift weights, how you train, whatever, how you practice. Practices have changed a lot, haven't they, over the years? They've changed a ton. So all those things are all going to change as we go. So those things, 18 years and 40-some years, they've all evolved and changed and grown, and they'll continue to change every single day. So understand those two things, principles and methods, and try to merge them the best you can to try to win the next game. Keep it simple. Try to win the next game, and that's what we'll try to do.
There's so much I want to talk
Pat
about
Lerner
after
from the
this,
New York
guys.
Daily News.
There's so much.
What qualities do you prioritize in the players that you acquire and that will play for you for the New York Giants?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of qualities that go into it. I mean, Joe's got lists and lists of qualities for all different positions and all that you'd be looking for. But to me, the number one thing is we have to have guys that love football. I mean, you just have to.
Absolutely.
It's football. What are we here for? What do we do?
Character matters,
what is this building
man.
for? It's for football.
Yeah.
This is a football team. And we need guys that love everything about football.
Character matters, man. It really
they love
does.
the games. They love the practices. They love the weightlifting. They love the meetings. They love the dining hall. They love every part of football, man. And if you love football, guys, you're going to want to be here. You're going to want to drive in that parking lot every single day. You're going to want to walk through those doors. You want to walk up in those halls. You're going to want to get in front of that tape and watch tape every single day because you're going to be around a bunch of guys that love what you love. They love football. Because that's what we're going to be doing, football, all the time, every day. And if there's guys, around that don't love football, Joe, we're probably going to let those guys go play somewhere else, Because if you don't love football, you're not going to love it here. Because we'll be doing football. That's the plan. All right?
John, congratulations. Ian O'Connor with The Athletic.
Ian O'Connor!
Winning over the long term is probably the hardest thing to do in a league built on parity.
That's our guy.
But is there a common thread that ran through your 18 years in Baltimore, whether it was physicality or something else that you think you could apply here that's sort of mandatory to have the same kind of success?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. To me, it goes back to every single day. I mean, you just never know what the next day is going to bring. And you got to understand that it's really not about what you face. Sometimes the triumphs are much more dangerous than the trials. Sometimes the good times are the things that you got to be more wary of than the tough times. So we've got to do a great job of handling all the circumstances in the best possible way to keep it simple and keep in mind what's important. It's even as much as I'm sure the guys love all the media. They love all you guys being around probably every single day, right? It's really great. But, but we got to keep it about football. So we want to do our jobs and be respectful of all the opportunities that come with that. But really what it boils down to is let's attack this day with an enthusiasm. And let's get ready for the next challenge that's in front of us, whether it's OTA practice or, we got squat day tomorrow, Got to be great. Got to have a great squat day. Whatever it might be, we got to be ready to roll. So I think that's probably the thread that runs through those 18 years. Just kind of taking that mindset.
I can't wait to talk about this.
I
can't wait to talk.
And then being, it's how you play. And when that tape comes on, that tape is going to last forever. And you're going to want to be proud of what you see. So you got to make a decision and a choice beforehand. How am I going to play? What's that tape going to look like? It's not about whether you make the play. Well, it is whether you win or lose. Ultimately, whether you make the play or don't make the play. We know that because it's a player's game. But what you can decide on is how you're going to play. How hard am I going to play? How physical am I going to play? How much are you going to be locked into my assignment, okay, to try to do things the right way, my footwork, my technique?
Try to
So
win my
much
battle. Am I going
aura
to finish the
coming.
play? Am I gonna run all
I'm
the way
gonna
to the ball?
cry.
All right, and then arrive there in a real bad attitude and make a statement when I get there? Am I willing to do that every single play? I don't have to decide, oh, maybe he'll make the tackle. I don't have to run over there. No. You put your foot in the ground, you start running, all right? That's what great defenses do. So that's it. I mean, that's to me, those two things, if you do that, then you have a chance, all right? Then you have a chance, and you go let the chips fly.
Steve Wino, Associated Press. John, you mentioned good conversations with Joe during this process. What's it like to sort of get to know and work with a new person after 18 years somewhere else? And what do you expect that sort of relationship to be on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I expect it to be phenomenally great. I think it's going to be incredible. I really do. I mean, I already know because we've had a chance to start talking to each other. But you work with new people all the time. But, you know, Joe's been around the National Football League for years and years. He's got a tremendous amount of experience.
He's talking about Joe Shane.
On me, we're going to be leaning on everybody around us, right? And it's not just it's not just us. I mean, it's a whole organization. We're going up the chain. We've got incredible experience all the way up to the very top here. All right, in different areas. And John Mara, nobody knows more about this league, right? So we'll be working, whatever it might be. It's X's and O's, it's strategic planning, it's the draft, it's free agency, it's contracts. People all through the building that are just incredibly talented.
The future is so bright.
The idea is let's work together. All right, let's work together every single day and let's build something great.
The future is so bright, guys. Oh my God.
Hey, John, Jordan Ronan from ESPN.
Look at Jordan.
When you did a lot of research and background on the roster before you got here,
yes,
like the last few weeks. What did you see when you looked at the roster?
I see a lot of really good players when I look at the roster. Really, well, not the roster so much as the tape. That's where you look. You look at the tape. You know, that's what shows you, right, guys? It shows you. It's on the tape. So I look at the tape, and I see a lot of good football players, and not just me, my dad. All right, so he calls me up about 3 days into this process, and he goes, "You watch the Giants?" I'm like, "Yeah, I watch them. I watch them." He goes, "You see the way they come off the ball on offense? You see that offensive line? You see that offense? See those guys? You see that quarterback? You know, you see that defense? See that front? You see those guys flying around back there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I saw it. I saw it." So when my dad told me, I knew it was true. We have a chance. We have a chance.
That's cool, though. That's cool.
Hey, John, Dan Duggan from The Athletic. A big change with your arrival is having the head coach report directly to ownership. Just curious, why was that something that was important to you?
Well, you know, to me, it's really not that important in the big picture, in the big scheme of things. I think it's kind of overblown just a little bit in terms of how it works. But the main thing is that it works, you know, and that we work together. That's what matters. So that's kind of what I was used to, and it felt like a good way to kind of start off. And I think Mr. Mara was happy about that. It seemed like it made sense, and I'm just happy. But I don't think it really matters. I think we're all going to work together, and I promise you, we all report to the boss, right? And the boss is ownership, and John Mara is running football operations here, and he's running it, and I'm glad he is. And that's also all the families and everybody involved. That's what this league. That's where it starts, and we respect that, right, Joe? And we want our bosses to be happy. We want them to be smiling.
I love how
and
he
happy.
like
we
adds
want them to know we're trying to do things
everybody
the right
in the
way
conversation
every single day, and that's what matters. All the other stuff is just. That's a great question. It means everything. I mean, I have the most amazing wife and the most incredible daughter.
What happened?
And it's just the three of us, you know. 3 Ps, the 3 Ps in a pod. That's what we call ourselves. And it's
why did you skip like that?
It's just incredible. We've been together for a long, long time, and you know, this profession is crazy. I mean, it's you live a lifetime in a season in the National Football League. It's the things that you go through, the ups and the downs, and the emotional roller coaster, and the conversations and challenges. These players can tell you. Everybody that works here can tell you that. It's that. Then it's not just you. It's your family. You know, your wife is with you every step of the way, and more, because she'll tell me, you're not out there. You're not out there hearing it every single day. You get to go to your office and you don't have to listen to anything. You know, right? You've said that to me. She's out there. She's fighting. You know, she's out there fending them off. And so I appreciate that. I got a fighter for a wife, and you better, you know. So no, it's been what it is, and it's been great because it just, you know, because of who we are together. So I'm very proud of that. Very happy with that.
Sorry, John. Joe Messeri, Pix11. Congratulations again here. The NFL's a league where we see teams go worst to first all the time. Plenty of evidence this year. Is there a similar characteristic you see among those teams that are that manage to have those big turnarounds from one year to the next? And do you see what do you see here that indicates that?
Well, that's a great question, and it's probably something that maybe I should take a look at. We'll do some kind of study. We got all these analytics guys, so we'll have them do a study on that, But to me, I see the teams that play really good. That's what I see. And the teams that play really good have a lot of common denominators, and we've been talking about those things throughout the course of this press conference. So that's what we're going to be chasing.
Who's got an Android?
It's going to be about how we play. It's going to be about us every single day, just becoming as good as we can be. If we're going to be in coverage, we need to be square. Our eyes need to be where it's supposed to be. We need to be doing things the right way. So whatever it is, let's do it the right way and see how good we can get.
Beautiful. Anything else? Coach, we're all set.
All right, great. Thank you very much. It's an honor. Thanks a lot.
My goodness. I don't know if they keep talking. Are they going to keep talking? Anybody else coming up? Okay, that's it. Guys, let me tell you right now, man. Oh, I want to cry. I want to cry! My New York Giants are back, baby! I can wear this now. Oh, I can wear this now. Oh. Ah! Let me strap up, man. Oh my God, my New York Giants are back. All right, guys, let me tell you what I learned here. All right, let me tell you what we learned here. If you watch the way John Harbaugh talks and addresses everybody, first of all, the entire room is quiet. All right, and even when he tries to crack a joke, they're not even laughing because they're so locked into what he's saying. Okay. You could see the difference, right? Go back to our other coaches. I need to take this warning label off, but go back to our other coaches, right? You have Joe Judge, who was too serious, right? Too serious where he was borderline an asshole, right? He was way too serious, way too strict in his regiments, and even though he was a leader, there was just something missing there. There was a relatability that was missing there, right? And then you go to Brian Daboll, who was almost like the complete opposite, where instead of that strict father-like figure, Brian Daboll was trying to be the cool uncle. And being the cool uncle can offer a lot of relatability. It can offer you a lot of bonding with your players, but it's not going to make them completely play hard and fear you, right? Fear you as a coach, where it's I don't want to let this guy down. There was talks that Brian Daboll didn't have hard practices. There was talks that, he never left anybody to be accountable for, we saw that in Abdul Carter. Look at the way John Harbaugh talks, okay? He can still crack a couple of jokes. He smiles. He's very charismatic, right? He talks with his hands. He talks louder. He projects his voice. He doesn't seem nervous. He doesn't use the ums and the uhs. When he talks, he commands the entire room. You see the way he talks, and it's and I know I sound silly right now because I got the football helmet on. I'm just, ah! Okay, let me take this off so I can. Oh God, that thing hurts. All right, you can see the way he talks and projects. He stands up. I know this is all body language stuff, guys, but it's facts, bro. You guys gotta pay attention. The way he talks, he projects his voice high. He lifts his chin is up high. He talks loud. He's smiling, cracking jokes. Right, John? Right, Joe? Sees Jackson Dart in the back, addresses him, addresses his wife, right? Brings everybody in conversation. It's like he's just a natural leader. As much as I liked Brian Daboll, and I still like Brian Daboll, and I wish nothing for the best for him, go back to his press conferences, whether you want to look at his introductory speech, or if you want to look at his regular press conferences. His head is low. He's very cookie cutter in his answers. He doesn't really know what he's going to say before he says it. Right? He doesn't command the entire room. He almost looks kind of curled up in a ball almost, where he's almost on a defensive mode all the time. You can see how open John Harbaugh is. He's embracing this. He likes to be there. He loves to be there. He's really enthusiastic about all the questions and all the the answers that he's gonna give. You can see that this is a different type of coach that we haven't had since a Tom Coughlin, guys. Since a Tom Coughlin. Okay, Tom Coughlin would answer the questions and demand respect from the entire room. We haven't had that since. We've had Ben McAdoo, we've had Pat Shurmur, we've had Joe Judge, and we had Brian Dable. None of those guys commanded a room like that, and that's going to transfer over to the locker room. I guarantee it, man. They're going to want to play for this guy because he's not the cool uncle. He's not the guy that's just man. Harbaugh ain't gonna care about that. We're good about that. That's not the type of guy he is, where like Brian Dable was, right? It didn't seem like anybody was left accountable under Brian Dable, where with John Harbaugh, yeah, he's gonna be nice to you when you're doing your job. He'll crack a couple of jokes. He'll try to bond with his team, but when it's time to make the play, you make the play. Look how he was talking about when it was like stopping the run or whatever he was talking about planting your feet and going to go after and make the tackle and stuff like that. Look at the way he describes that, right? He's going to be holding people accountable, and that's something that we need in this organization, man. That is something that we need in this organization. I'm extremely excited. That press conference was an A+. Now we need to talk about Joe Schoen for a second, okay? Because if you guys go back to Brian Dable's introductory press conference, Joe Schoen was very excited, very enthusiastic. Joe Schoen now looked like he was about to catch a heart attack or catch a panic attack at the least. Like, I'm not even joking, guys. I've seen panic attacks before, okay? That looked like he was about to have a panic attack, okay? He paused on his words, looked around, completely blanked out a couple of times. I don't know what was going on with Joe Schoen there. And it didn't look like John Harbaugh had a bad relationship with him or they're butting heads, because John Harbaugh would even add Joe Schoen, like, right, Joe? Like, and Joe knows a lot of football, and Joe knows this. Joe's been around, and I'm really excited to work with him. I really wonder what's this. Something's there, guys. I'm telling you, something is there. Something is there. I don't know quite what it is. I sound like Dokes right now. I know something's there. I just can't prove it. There's something up with Joe Schoen. I don't know if it's ownership. I don't know if it's him and John Harbaugh. I'm not quite sure, guys. I would think Joe Schoen would be more excited than introducing Brian Dable. I don't know. You guys can leave your conspiracy theory or leave your own theory. This isn't just words. This is John freaking Harbaugh. His resume speaks for itself. Let's effing go Giants. That's absolutely Sports Talks with Bill. I'll put your comments. I'll put you guys' comments on the side here. I'm on a water journey, guys. I have to be drinking more water, man. I have to. I used to drink so much water when I was younger. I kind of got away from that. I'm starting to drink more water now. Drink your water, ladies and gentlemen. Drink your water. Although it's just words, it's more trustworthy because, listen, let me preface this by saying this to everybody, okay? We know, it is just words. And shout out Delano. Shout out everybody. Corey, he's addressing this comment from Corey. He says, these are just words. Put the words on the field. We've been burned before. Absolutely, Corey. I don't disagree with you. As a New York Giants fan, my entire life, 28 years, I understand where you're coming from. But I will give you guys this nugget of hope where go back into these other introductory press conferences. Nobody stands as tall, right? I'm not talking about stature. I'm talking about proudness, right? Nobody stands as tall. Nobody keeps their chin as high. Nobody projected their voice as much when doing their introductory speeches, okay? That is the characteristics of a leader. It's not just that he's media trained, that he's projecting his voice high and he's standing up tall because he's media trained. It's because he's confident. He's absolutely confident, and he knows that he can get this job done. He's not scared about the challenge. He knows that there's going to be a challenge, and he's confident. He's excited to be there. He's charismatic about it. And I love to see it. That whole speech was awesome. It really got to show the personality of John Harbaugh, because I'll be honest with you, have I watched many John Harbaugh press conferences before? No, not really. Maybe a couple of times when you see like a Sunday night football game with the Ravens and they win and then they show the press conference after. That's probably the extent I've seen of John Harbaugh in a press conference, and it's such a stark difference from whatever we've gotten as Giants fans for the past couple of years. Go back to Ben McAdoo, bro. Watch a Ben McAdoo press conference. Go watch a Joe Judge press conference. Hell, as much as I love Brian Dable, go watch a Brian Dable press conference. It is like frustrating. It's frustrating. It's so to watch a Brian Dable press conference giving cookie cutter answers, skirting around the question to give an answer that doesn't answer the question, to just gets enough to get by to the next question. Like, John Harbaugh is very vulnerable with his answers, right? He's very transparent with his answers, and I like to see it. Joe Shane was ready to, yeah, guys, for those of you guys that missed it, man, let's go back real quick, okay? Hold on. So my dad just popped in here, so I think he missed a press conference. So shout out, Dad. What's going on, man? Let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. Okay, there is something to this, guys. It's so cringe. Like, I'm getting secondhand embarrassment thinking about it. His voice was shaking. Yeah, his voice was shaking. He blanked out a couple of times. He can't be nervous. He's been the Giants GM for 5 years now. There's no way he can be nervous going upstage. I mean, he's done this plenty of times. He's already introduced a head coach before, and he's had many press conferences where he's had to answer questions.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is obviously...
Okay, watch his body language. His shoulders are up high, right? Shoulders up high, that's a comforting sort of... When you're nervous, you kind of get yourself in a little ball. His shoulders are up high, definitely.
An exciting time for the New York Giants.
He's really stiff. You can tell that, like, if you were to move him a little bit, he'll probably crack, right? He's really stiff.
As we're set to introduce...
Don't do this to me. Did they private the freaking thing? Did they privated it?
As we're set to introduce our next head football coach. Before I get started, I'd like to thank ownership, John Mara, and the entire Mara family.
When he starts mentioning John Mara, his voice trembles a little bit. Look. Watch when he says John Mara, how his voice kind of shakes. Wait, am I sharing the screen right now? I am.
Before I get started,
Watch.
I'd like to thank ownership, John Mara, and the entire Mara family, Steve Tisch and the Tisch family, Julia Koch and her family, along with the entire football operation, for your commitment and your collaboration throughout this process. When we set out, we were looking for a proven winner and an elite leader. We're fortunate we were able to find both. John Harbaugh's amassed 193 career victories, 13 playoff wins, and a Super Bowl championship.
He's breathing so like Joe Shane sounds like he just ran a mile and just put a suit on and said, "I'm gonna get up stage." Why is he breathing so heavily? Like, was he rushed to the stage or something like that? Hey, bro, we don't want you to be late again. We don't want you to be late again. Hurry up and get up there. Why is he breathing? Shane looked like I said that on Twitter, Ramdre. I said the same thing. He looks like he's about to have a panic attack or anxiety attack. I'm telling you. But that's not Joe Shane. Joe Shane's not the most. He doesn't look like he's the most social, like, with press conferences. Like, he's not as super enthusiastic or charismatic in press conferences. But he's never this nervous. Like, this is supreme nervousness. Is because his heart rate increases. Yeah, but why? What we're trying to figure out, bookend tackles, is why is he so anxious? Why does he look like he's having a anxiety attack? And I'm not even saying this as a joke, guys. I'm legitimately like, you guys can rewind to when we first saw this. I'm like, is he okay? Like, he looks like he was about to pass out on the stage. I don't know.
John has built a foundation.
Right here, I could have swore he was going to pass out. I'm not even joking. Right here, I could have swore he was going to pass out.
John has built a foundation of culture, player development, and toughness throughout each of his programs that he's been a part of. He's a proven winner. And when we set out to do this, we knew that John was going to be the perfect.
Oh my God, I can't even sit through it again. Oh my God, bro, he looks like he has a target on his head.
Person.
He looks like he's staring down the barrel of a gun. Like there's like 30 snipers like aimed at him.
For the New York Giants. When we did our research, what continually came up was John's respect that the players had for him.
Check out how hard he's gripping this freaking table. Check how hard he's gripping this table, guys. Listen, I am very good with body language, okay? I watch this stuff all the time. I watch body cam videos. I watch freaking crime investigation stuff when people are like caught doing stuff. Look how hard he's gripping this freaking
the perfect person for the New York
stand
Giants.
here.
When we did our research, what continued.
He's gripping it so hard, his knuckles are white, like the yellowish white. You know when you hold something really tight, and your knuckles start getting white, your fingertips start getting white. Look how hard he's gripping this thing.
Really came up was John's respect that the players had for him.
He's also rubbing with his thumb. He's also rubbing, bro. He is anxious as hell. He's also rubbing his thumb on it. Watch it. He's rubbing his thumb. That's a comfort. It's a comforting move that, you know, characteristic that humans do to comfort themselves. He's also rubbing his thumb on the thing.
Person for the New York Giants.
Right there.
When we did our research, what continually came up was John's respect that the players had for him and the ability to develop young men. And with that being said, I would like to introduce to you the next head football coach of the New York Giants, John Harbaugh.
Man. Oh, God. Oh, man. That was hard to watch, bro. That was hard to watch even for the second time. And I even noticed more characteristics of him being super anxious. I hope that people start talking about this. I hope that people start talking about this. Man, Chris Mara does not look like the freaking... Holy moly. Chris Mara does not look like the freaking, the picture that he... I just scrolled on Twitter real quick. He does not look like the picture that's on the Giants website. He looks a lot older now. That freaking picture must have been from years ago. They do not age well in that Mara family. It's trending on Twitter. Is it? Is it? Link it to me. Oh my God, it is. Sleeper posted it. And shout out Bobby Skinner, he posted it. And Sleeper reposted it. So, okay, I wasn't crazy. All right, I wasn't crazy. I was not crazy. I'm scrolling on Twitter real quick, guys. Now that kind of gives me a little bit of, okay, yeah, I'm not the only one. Holy crap, I'm not the only one. I swear I didn't even look on Twitter before this happened. Everyone picked up on it, man. Good. Because I want to know what the hell happened. Yeah, just type in Joe Shane nervous. Oh my God. I didn't even put nervous, Nova. I just put Joe Shane. The only thing that's popping up for Joe Shane is him about to have an anxiety attack. Holy moly. If you guys have ever seen an anxiety attack before, that's what it is. what happened to Joe Schoen. What I'm thinking is that there's a lot of pressure on him. During these contract talks, I'm telling you guys one thing right now, the argument point was Joe Schoen. I'm telling you right now. The argument point, this confirms it to me. The argument was about Joe Schoen. The contract disputes was about Joe Schoen. As much as those insiders kept saying Joe Schoen's not the issue, Joe Schoen and John Harbaugh have a great relationship, this tells me that Joe Schoen is shaking in his freaking boots, because Joe Schoen was a lot more comfortable answering questions about why the team only had 3 wins or 2 wins at the time during their bye. He was a lot more comfortable saying, I understand the question, and all these other things. Right? We all memed on him for that. He was a lot more comfortable doing that. All he's doing is introducing the next head coach of the New York Giants. Something that we all are celebrating. Joe, we are not mad at you right now. We just want you to introduce John and get over with. Now this is becoming the biggest news. Schoen has no power. Yeah, but just because he got emasculated with, stripped of his power, doesn't mean that he gets completely, emasculated here. He's still the GM. He was shook. No, he was not. Not to this extent. Nova, he was nervous. He was sweating, right? He was sweating really bad when he was answering those questions, but he wasn't hyperventilating. He wasn't completely losing his train of thought. He wasn't overthinking things, because you could see his brain was moving so a mile a second. He was thinking and constantly processing. You could tell he's gripping the freaking table, that his knuckles are white. He's rubbing the table, right? He knows his days are numbered. Yeah, but if he knows his days are numbered, he has a whole season. There's no reason for him to be shaking this bad right now. There had to have been a conversation with the Maras or something right before this where it has him extremely nervous. It's not about his days are numbered. He knew his days were numbered since that bye week press conference, okay? He knew his days were numbered since then. He hasn't recovered since then. Man, I don't know. It's been months. It's been months since we last heard of him. There's no way if he's been like this since that press conference, if he's been like that since then he had to been in therapy by now. Somebody has to check on him, because there's no way his wife, his kids are gonna walk around the house him acting like this all the time. Asia! What's going on, Asia? Hope you're doing well. Shane should step down if it's bothering him. That's what I'm trying to allude. That's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. I know he's nervous. We all know he's nervous. What we're trying to figure out is why. It can't be that he knows his days are numbered. It has to be more than that, guys. He's been known his days are numbered. We've had 8 wins in the past 2 years. Okay? There's more to this. Or 7 wins in the past 2 years. There's more to this that we do not know yet. There had to have been a prior conversation. I'm talking about right before this press conference. There's no way you're shaking this bad if it's not something that recently happened. This is like when, I'm not trying to say he did anything wrong here, guys. Don't try to think I'm assuming anything. I watch a lot of body cam footage, okay? I'm no expert in criminal law or anything like that, or criminal investigations, but I watch body cam footage religiously. Usually when a suspect does something immediately after being confronted, this is how they act. Or something's happened immediately before that they were confronted. He looked like he was about to drop. He looked like he was about to drop to the floor. Maybe Matt Leonard heckling him. Pat Leonard heckling. I didn't even hear Pat Leonard speak. Did he ask a question? Did Pat Leonard ask a question? I don't even know if he spoke. Hey, we got a new member of the channel, a new member of the 27 squad. Shout out to Damon Harmon, 5,600. Shout out to Damon or Damon. Shout out to Damon, bro. Appreciate you, brother. Go Giants. Love the profile picture. Looks like you're at Giants Day. You're at MetLife. Shout out to you, brother. Great times are coming. Great times are coming, brother. Ah, man. Yes, Asia. I know you mentioned that. I'm so sorry about that, Asia. I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry. Prayers up to you and your family. What's going on? What's going on, Damon? What's going on, bro? Oh, let's go. Let's go. I know you're hyped, Damon. I know you're hyped. Brick City, I know you hyped. Great time to have a Hard Knocks off season. Yo, man, I would have loved to have a Hard Knocks with John Harbaugh, man. But that would be the third season in a row that the Giants are on Hard Knocks. I don't know. I think they're kind of fatigued off that. I think they're kind of fatigued off that. I haven't been watching the in-season Hard Knocks, man. I have not been into it, man, because they I don't like the ones where they put the 4 teams in there, where they put a whole division in there, because like the Giants get like 15 minutes of screen time. The hell I want to watch this whole thing? I don't want to watch. I could care less. I couldn't care less about the Eagles or the Commanders or Cowboys, man. I want to watch the Giants. So I haven't been watching them. I've seen the clips here and there, but I'll only watch the clips. I don't care, to be honest. Will we finally be able to score in the red zone? I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. Let's find out, you know. Not that John Harbaugh is some offensive guru, but if he's bringing in Todd Monken, we should have an explosive offense, bro. If we're bringing in Todd Monken, guys, we don't listen to those stupid-ass Ravens fans, okay? Those Ravens fans are really jaded. All right, because they had John Harbaugh for so long and they only won 1 Super Bowl out of it. They're really jaded out of it. Okay, John Harbaugh is going to fix things around here, and they're really jaded about Todd Monken as well. Don't listen to the Ravens fans. Todd Monken is a damn good offensive coordinator. He's an explosive offensive coordinator. We are going to be explosive as an offense. Asia, I did. Asia, I did. What's his name? Oh shit. Salah. Salah. Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh as the new head coach of the. Yo, I've never what is it with these like random organizations beefing on the Giants? Let me put full screen here. What is it with these random organizations beefing with the Giants? First, we had the Broncos fans when we were going against them. That whole Nick Benito versus Brian Burns situation, then Nick Benito versus Andrew Thomas situation, and then they wound up beating us, and I don't even want to talk about the game. Then we had beef with the Broncos for so long, like the rest of the season. Now the Titans. Since when did the Titans fans... I've talked to Titans fans because I'm a Giants content creator, okay? I know content creators from teams that you would have never thought had a fan base, okay? I've talked to Titans content creators. Shout out to MJ, right? Sports fan entertainment, all right? Shout out MJ. He's a Titans fan. He's cool. I've talked to other Titans fans. They're cool. They're really humble, right? They gotta be humble. Their franchise is like non-existent. I told you guys, the Titans were probably the last team I found out exists in the NFL. All right? They are so irrelevant. Since when did they get the balls, the pride to just think that they were going to get, first of all, going to get John Harbaugh. Secondly, had the rights to John Harbaugh. And thirdly, thought that John Harbaugh would like the Titans over any of the other teams. Like, if I'm John Harbaugh and the Giants aren't an answer, I'm going to the Falcons. I'm not going to the Titans. Yeah, I know, Asia. I know. What is it with the Titans fans beefing with the Giants? Like, they can't just be happy for us? Ravens fans can't be happy for us? Right? If Brian Dable went to Tennessee, I'm like, yo, I wish Tennessee the best. But the Ravens cannot stand that John Harbaugh went to another team. You know why? You know why? Is because they're scared that John Harbaugh is going to have success with the Giants and have more success with the Giants than in recent years with the Ravens. That's what they're scared of. That is what they're scared of. If John Harbaugh went to the Titans, they're not going to be that afraid or upset. They'll just be like, "Oh, you guys got John Harbaugh. He'll probably be good for your team. All right, later." You know. But with the Giants, now we're a threat. With the Giants, we're a threat. Falcons fans wasn't happy either. Yeah, I know Falcons fans, but now Falcons fans have freaking Kevin Stefanski, man. They mad about a week 1 loss in Dable's first game. Yeah, bro, that game was crazy. That game was crazy. John Harbaugh nearly could have went to the Bills. Yeah, Buffalo fired their coach. Yeah, I know. But he seems enthusiastic to be here, man. He really seems like he wants to be here, regardless of if the Bills job opened up. Because I personally think he would have tried to go for the job. I don't know if the Bills would have went for it, because somebody mentioned to me and brought up a great point. Brandon Beane does not want to be controlled. Brandon Beane himself, the GM for the Bills, got promoted. Okay, so he is in control of football operations. John Harbaugh wants more power. Brandon Beane would not stand for it. So I don't think it would have been a good match with Harbaugh and Brandon Beane, but maybe John Harbaugh would have want to be with Buffalo. But just like Bookend Tackles just said, John Harbaugh, this has been reported and it's since been confirmed by John Harbaugh himself. This is the job he wanted. He wanted to be with the Giants. As soon as he was let go by the Ravens, he even said his dad even called him up and said, "You check out them Giants, like you should go coach the Giants." And then I love what he said was when he was watching the film and he sees a lot of great players like this. That's what really made him want to come here. Watching the film and seeing all these good players and what we can do with it. That tells me that there's something here with this team. There's something. You need the right coaches. That's why you need a CEO type head coach. You don't need any more gurus, right? You don't need any more gurus that prioritize one side of the ball. You need a guy that's going to bring the entire team together and manage the entire team and make them all work as a team. That's what we need. We needed a guy like John Harbaugh, and he fell into our laps. Guys, I think we're going to be talking about this hire for years. I think this is going to be a Tom Coughlin type impact. Now, whether or not we win 2 Super Bowls is up in the air, right? Whether or not we win 2 Super Bowls is up in the air. But I'm not going as far as that. But I will say that John Harbaugh is going to have that Tom Coughlin effect where it's just no BS. No BS, accountability, and let's start winning some games, right? Let's start winning some games. Daboll recommended Harbaugh come today. Exactly. Daboll even recommended it. Plus, you have a rookie quarterback contract. Bills window is closing. Absolutely, Bookend. You're right about that. Nova says Dart and famous Jameis rizzed them up. We need to get an offensive line addressed so that... let me put you guys' comments up here so you guys see your own comments here. We need to get the offensive line addressed so that our quarterback, Jackson Dart, will have a decent amount of time to throw the ball. Yes. But I will tell you, Damon, I will tell you, Damon, that the offensive line isn't that big of an issue anymore. Now, can it still be addressed? Absolutely. I think the biggest issue that we have right now is our secondary. We need secondary help so bad. And wide receivers. Well, Malik Neighbors is coming back off an injury, and Wan'Dale Robinson is a projected free agent. We need wide receivers. We need secondary. Corey says, KB, you doing any mocks this year? Of course. Man, are you kidding me? It's my favorite. That's my favorite thing to do. Maybe it won't. Maybe in the future it won't be my favorite thing to do because we'll be successful. But right now that we're looking at a 4-13 team, of course I'm doing mocks, baby. I'm doing a lot of film as we speak. Now, as far as a Giants mock draft, I'm going to be doing that as well. Of course. I have to look at more like mid-round picks and stuff like that and kind of figure out what the Giants should do. But don't worry, somewhere around the next 2 weeks or so, you are getting a New York Giants mock draft for sure. Somewhere around the next 2 weeks. I agree. We also need a cornerback. Absolutely. Offensive line is solid. Just need to upgrade and more depth on the interior. Absolutely. Well, we're also going to see what happens with our right tackle situation with Jermaine Illuminor, who's a projected free agent. So we're going to see what happens with him. The Giants should definitely extend him, but a lot of Giants fans just want us to get that Francis Mauigoa guy, that right tackle from Miami, which is not a bad option either, but I think Jermaine Illuminor deserves a contract here. He played phenomenal. He's been our best right tackle since maybe Justin Pugh was playing right tackle for us back in God knows how long. I'm pretty sure Justin Pugh started off as a tackle and it went to guard. But Justin Pugh was all right at right tackle. Can we name a better right tackle we've had? Right tackle has always been our Achilles heel of that offensive line. Dex needs some help up front. Absolutely, Ramdre. Absolutely. There's a lot of holes. To keep it simple, guys, there is a lot of holes that this roster has. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But we'll see. We'll see. Lunar is the highest. Yes, I agree. Him and Cordell Flott, honestly. Cordell Flott. Him and Wandale, honestly. Him and Wandale. Cordell Flott, I like Cordell Flott. Let's see what kind of contract he'll demand. But him and Wandale, Illuminor and Wandale need to come back. I never thought I would say that about Wandale Robinson, by the way. But he's proven it. He's proven it already. He got 1,000 yards in a terrible season. He's got 1,000 yards. I'll give that to him. Like, Darius Slayton has never hit 1,000 yards. As much of an opportunity he's had, right, to hit 1,000 yards where he's been a number one receiver for years, he's never hit it. So, bring Jameis back as a player coach. I like his vibe. Yeah, he's still on the contract for one more year, Asia. Jameis is still on the contract for one more year. Pugh was a natural left tackle, but the Giants never used him. Only situation. Yeah, I know. He was a left tackle out of Syracuse. And then the Giants put him at right tackle, right? Back when he was like number 72 or something like that. And then he went to 67 and played, what was it, left guard for us? Or right guard? Can't remember. But we haven't had a good right tackle since him. Since Justin Pugh, which is crazy because Justin Pugh had 2 stints with the Giants and multiple position changes. How do you feel about Devin Singletary? He's decent. I don't hate. I've always liked Devin Singletary. I've always liked him, but I like what we have in Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scadaboo to like prioritize keeping Devin Singletary. I think he's still under contract, so I don't know. Are they trading Tibbs? No. If they were gonna trade Tibbs, they would have done it already. If they're gonna trade Tibbs. But we'll see what happens when the new league year starts in March, right? We'll see what happens then. But I don't think they'll trade him. He's on his 5th year right now. You didn't mention McFadden. Oh my gosh! Of course we gotta bring back the king, Micah McFadden. We have to bring back the king. Ramdre, I didn't mention him because that was a guarantee, brother. That's why. Guarantee. You gotta bring back King Micah. I really think we should, though. The only reason why I think Joe Shane is like I'm okay with Joe Shane coming back is because he drafted Micah McFadden himself. He'll want to keep him around. You got to bring back Micah. You got to. I like Turbo. I'm not a Turbo fan at all. You guys know how I feel about Turbo. How about they call him Turbo? Nah. Damon, I don't know if you know too much about how I feel about Turbo. I don't think he's an NFL running back. Caleb Downs is a Giant. My thing is Hasbig. Oh, how do I call you Hasbig? Jaden. My thing is Jaden. Caleb Downs, man. And it's not that I don't like him. He's the second best player in this draft to me. Arvell Reese is the best player. The problem is with this draft is that the best players in the draft are of positions that aren't worth drafting in the top 5. That's the problem. Caleb Downs is a safety. Now, if you watch Caleb Downs on film, when he does impact a play, he's really good. But the problem is he's not part of 1/3 of the plays or even more than that because he's a safety. He's on the back end. Half the plays don't even concern him. So his presence isn't felt. Harbaugh got his Kyle Hamilton on the Giants. Yeah, but Jaden, look where Kyle Hamilton was drafted and look where he was projected. Kyle Hamilton was projected as high as like number 3 that year or number 4. And look how far he dropped because he's a safety. That's the thing. That's the thing. Bobby O carrot cake. Oh gosh, Bobby O carrot cake. Should get the boot or trade it only if it's a definitive upgrade. I gotta look at the dead money there. I gotta look at the dead money. I don't know about his dead money, like his dead cap. But get Downs or Bane if you trade Kayvon. Oh man, you guys are gonna hate to hear that too. I just did my film on Ruben Bane. I just did my film on him. I think if there's a player who I could see being a bust, like the first player off the board that could be a bust in this draft is Ruben Bane. He's the first player I could assume could be a bust. Now, I'm not saying he will be. I'm seeing a lot of bust potential though. I am. He does not have the quickness of like today's NFL. He does not have the quickness of today's NFL. You like Carnell Tate from Ohio State? Yes, I like Carnell Tate. I like Carnell Tate. I love Jordan Tyson as well. But the thing is, yeah, I hope the Giants don't, so many red flags. Yeah, he has a lot of injury concerns. I'm anti-Kayvon trade. Yeah, me too. I just, there's just too much risk there. Too much risk. Abdul Carter isn't ready to be a full-time edge yet. As much as I like him, he's just not. He's not going to be able to handle strong side responsibilities like Kayvon handles. And Brian Burns is not a strong side guy either. You would be wasting him if you put him on the strong side. You saw the national championship yesterday? I did. I caught bits and pieces. It was really boring in the first half. I wasn't near my monitor, so I wasn't able to. I watched the second half though. I watched like I watched the beginning of the game, tuned out, then watched the rest of it in like the third to fourth quarter. From the third quarter to the end of the game. So I missed like a quarter and a half. But I don't think I missed much in that quarter and a half. I mean, it was like 10-0 the majority of the game. But it was a good game. It was a good game, especially at the end. Really good game at the end. Mendoza is that guy. Mendoza going to be a Raider? Yeah. I didn't think Mendoza was that good. Mendoza is number 1 pick worthy. I didn't think I would say that, to be honest with you. Not that I hated him, I just didn't hear the best things about him. But this guy is like the way better version of Kirk Cousins. I parlayed Indiana Natty and Rams over Patriots, exact Super Bowl result. Plus 2,000 last month. Oh, snap, Jaden. On what app, Jaden? What app did you use? You don't have to say sleeper, by the way. I want defense in the first round and receiver in the second, but I have to fit overdraft it. Right. Well, I won't drop the fit either. Like I want. IDK, if you answer this, can I DM you prospects? Yeah, of course, Mike. You could DM me. Prospects to look at, of course. Because there are going to be prospects that I miss out on because there's, 400 prospects each freaking year, I can't get to everybody. So yeah, of course. Absolutely. I actually prefer that. If you guys want to DM me freaking or send me prospects on comments or whatever to look at, I always welcome that. I always want to talk ball with you guys. So I always want to hear what you guys have to say, and if you guys make me like a player. It's happened plenty of times. How many primetime games do we need for next season? I don't want a lot. I want to be under the radar. 3 tops. But of course, we have John Harbaugh, Malik Neighbors coming back, Jackson Dart's a star, Cam Scott coming back. We're probably going to have 5 or 6. Primetime games, but I hate that. I hate us being under the spotlight. I like working in the silence. That's what I like doing. Fist Vegas, the only Giants fan that didn't want Harbaugh. Why? is the whole recent success thing. It's been proven that a lot of coaches and players who were once good that fizzled out just needs a change of environment. That's it. Pick at 5 is going to be Maui Noah, Downs, or Bane, in my opinion. I don't see how it's anyone else. You don't think it could be Cardinal Tate? You don't think it could be Cardinal Tate, Jaden? Maui Noah and Downs, I could see. I don't think they would take Ruben Bane. We could have got a haul for Mendoza. I know, Kenya. I know. Imagine us having the number 1 overall pick after that natty. Imagine us having that number 1 overall pick after that natty. Man, it's such a great comment. Bro, we could have... after that natty, the stock would have been... After that 4th and 5... After that 4th and 5 from Mendoza, him taking the ball for himself, getting the first down, then willing his way for a touchdown to pretty much seal the game. After that play, we would have got 2 firsts. We would have got maybe 3 firsts for that pick, man. Sucks. Really does. Jaden, you don't like Cardinal Tate? Why? He's a perfect compliment for Malik. Why would you... Wait, what? Jaden, you're for real? You would take Ruben Bane over Cardinal Tate? How does Ruben Bane fit our defense at all? We run a 3-4 scheme with speed rushers. Why do we need Ruben Bane, who gets his ankles broken by anybody? Ruben Bane takes a whole lunch break to change directions when a quarterback goes in the other direction. Jaden, you would take Tyson, who has had multiple injuries and is dealing with a nagging hamstring injury right now since the beginning of the season, and has had a broken collarbone, has had a torn ACL if I'm not mistaken, or a torn knee or something like that. All right, Mike. Cool. Right, Bookend? I know. Fizzle out, and he made the playoffs 3 out of 4 years. Yeah, it's that the standard in Baltimore is playoff. The standard in Baltimore is playoffs is a default. Playoffs is a default for the Ravens, and Super Bowl is the expectation. You know. So it's completely different from us, where playoffs is the expectation and the default is like 6 wins. Harbaugh wanted control of the draft too, right? Yeah, he's going to control the draft. He's not going to be the be-all center. Like, he's not going to be the GM, but he is going to be a way bigger part than a head coach would be in the draft. He's going to be like when we watch a Giants life and we go inside the war room when they draft these players, we are going to see John Harbaugh talking a lot more than Brian Daboll ever did. Harbaugh's our GM, not Shane. Have you seen David Bailey? Doubt the Giants would take him, but had a good game versus Oregon. He's the next guy I'm watching film on. I'm going down. I usually do the first top 50. I do the top 50 PFF guys, and then I start going into the mid rounds and stuff like that to do Giants drafts. So, but I'll tell you right now, guys, I am not a Ruben Bane guy at all. The fact that some people said that, I looked at his PFF stats, I looked at his stats, like regular stats, I looked at his analytics and stuff like that, like they're all off the charts or whatever. But I watch him on film, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy is super slow. My God. Now, I know he's big, right? He's 6'3", 275, right? He's a bigger guy, but he moves really slow. He's not going to... The thing is, Jaden, he's not going to play defensive tackle. Ruben Bane didn't even play defensive tackle at Miami. If you're 275 and they don't trust you to put... If you're 275 and have somewhat of an athletic ability and they don't put you at 3 tech, at least like a third of the time, then that means they're not confident in you on that. First and second of all, he has no pass rush moves at all. He has a little swipe move that's nice because he has very powerful hands, and he's got a nice little swim move. He has a little bit of athletic ability, no bend to him at all. Can turn the corner decently, but again, it's harder for him because he turns the corner like straight up, you know. And then on top of that, how is this guy 275? You're expected to be an edge setter, and you can't even set the edge very well. I've seen running backs run right by him. Quarterbacks breaking his ankles on rollouts. I mean, Ruben Bain could be the first bust in this draft. Ruben Bain, I wouldn't mind putting him at 3 tech. I wouldn't mind it. But Miami didn't even do it. So if Miami didn't do it, that means they're not confident in him doing it. I looked at his 3 tech snaps. His 3 tech snaps is like less than 50. I gotta see how much 3 tech snaps he took. Oh my God! In 2025, he took 15 I'll show you guys right now. This is 3 tech right here. B gap, 3 tech. Over tackle, you could say is like 4I/4, right? 4 technique. 4 technique, 4I, right? B gap is 3 tech. A gap, 2I to 0. 2I to 1, I would say. For 15 at 275. But look at all his analytics. Pass rush grade, 92.4. Run defense grade, 89.7. Like, I looked at these stats. His pass rush win rate, 22.9. I'm like, I see some of that, right? I see him playing out there, and he's super strong, right? Like, when he gets good momentum, when he's lined up at like a wide 5, right? Like basically like a 7 technique, and he just has a free release to get to the tackle. Like, nobody's stopping him because he turns into a freaking train, right? Ruben Bain does. But like, he has no pass rush moves. He could drive a tackle back, but the thing is, he gets his ankles broken immediately. Like, he only can run in a straight line. He can only turn the corner, but once that happens, like, if he doesn't get you, then you're fine. How are you 275? How are you 6'3"? It doesn't say his weight here, but he's 275. 6'3", 275, and you've only been... Oops. And they only lined you up in 3 tech 15 times, bro. Outside the tackle, 769 times. That's crazy. That's crazy. He started off the season really good, then kind of dropped off. I don't know. I'm not a big Ruben Bain guy, to be honest. If Caleb Downs is there at 5, they're 1,000% taking him, so get ready to learn safety in the top 5, buddy. I know. I'm just scared. Look, Caleb Downs is so good. And you could put him anywhere. You could line him up in the slot. You could line him up as an off-ball linebacker, right? You can line him up as, box safety. You could line him up as a split safety. The only thing that I say that I don't think he has the range to do is play center fielder, but we don't need a center fielder right now. Javon Holland is the center fielder, but what happens when Javon Holland is asked to play the slot? I would hope that Caleb Downs is going to be our slot guy, like a dime back, right? A dime back or a slot or a big slot, right? When he has like cover tight ends in the slot, right? Oh my God. Okay. My thing is, Jeremiah Love, right? This must be a terrible freaking draft to put Jeremiah Love as the 4th best player in this entire draft. Okay, this is nothing against Jeremiah Love. I actually think he is a phenomenal running back. Phenomenal running back. The problem is, why on earth is a running back rated the 4th overall best player in this entire draft, brother? Are you serious? His offensive line didn't do him a lot of favors. His offensive line is doo-doo water, bro. That Notre Dame offensive line is terrible. He dances in the backfield a little bit. Had a little bit of problem like Saquon Barkley. But he's a slasher, man. Good vision. Great footwork. I mean, phenomenal footwork. He can hit you with a hezzy, double move, a juke, and a freaking jump cut, all in the same carry. Like, he can do all of that, and a spin move at that. Like, he can do all of that. He has a lot of ball carrier moves. Jeremiah Love is great. Jeremiah Love will be better than Ashton Jeanty. I could honestly see that. I could honestly see that. He comes from a better school. But the only problem is Jeremiah Love is didn't have a great offensive line. Like, I think he could have been way better than his stats are insane, like, right? His stats 1,300. Look at his yards per carry. 6.9 yards per carry. It's always been over 5 every single year, which is awesome. But he could have had even better stats. He is fantastic out of the backfield. The fact that he only has a 280 receiving yards in college, he's going to have so much more in the NFL. This kid could legitimately play slot wide receiver. Now, is he like a route running demon? No, but it's like he can play wide receiver. He can play slot receiver. And he has great hands out the backfield. Jeremiah Love. There's a lot to like about him. There's a lot to like about Jeremiah Love. I finished my film on him yesterday, and I was satisfied with him. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make this public to you guys. I'm gonna make this public to you guys. This is my Google spreadsheet I'm doing this season for my big board. I'm also gonna do a separate spreadsheet, but with this same link, you'll see it on the bottom of Giants prospects. So it's gonna be like mid-rounder guys. This is just my big board. You guys can check it out now. It's very like the only players that are on it right now, cause I'm a little late. I'm a little late to the film stuff this year. But that's my film. This is my Google spreadsheet. You guys could click on that if you guys want to. I'll switch the page to that now. All right, this is it right now. I put it in the chat. Can I pin it from here? I can't pin it from here. Give me a second. Let me pull up my own chat, and then hold on. I'm going to pull up my own chat, guys. If you guys are enjoying it so far, if you guys are enjoying the live, do me a favor to hit that like button. Hit that like button for me, man. It helps out a lot. I know, especially during live streams, a lot of people forget to hit it even when they want to. It's just that because there's so much going on, it's a live stream more than an actual video. So if you guys haven't already, please hit that like button. It helps me out a lot. Yeah, this is my thing here, so you guys can follow along. So if you guys want to save this link for yourselves and kind of look at share request. Oh, there we go. Oh, I could share. Oh, I did not think. Hold on. There we go. There you go. General access. Anyone with a link. There we go. So if you guys have the link, you guys can view it. And then it has my eval over here, pros and cons. Pros, cons, and study summary. Okay? Pros, cons, summary. If there's anything else you guys want me to add in here, because there's plenty of more like areas. I just don't know what you guys will want to see. But I'm not going to charge, like a lot of people charge for their a lot of people charge for their spreadsheets. The problem is I don't have a really vast spreadsheet, and I only do film on people I want to do film on. You know what I mean? So you guys can see that. So I'm not gonna charge for it. This is just so you guys can get a kind of a view of who I like and who I don't like and what I feel about a player for this year. And so what I have here is the name, the college, the position, the height, the weight, the class, the college number. So it helps you out in film a little bit if you guys are watching film from random places and want to know the college number. My grade for him. So this is like top 5. And these could change. These grades can change based on how I feel on a certain day. Okay, and my pro comp, and the pro comp is only if I see that in a player. Okay, if I see that in a player, I'll put a pro comp. This is not something like, for example, Arvell Reese. I have no idea who comps to Arvell Reese, so I'm not gonna put a comp on there. You know, and then I have an archetype. The archetype pretty much just kind of describes the player in one phrase, one sentence, right? Arvell Reese, versatile weak side linebacker. Caleb Downs, slot safety. Pocket passing sniper for Fernando Mendoza. Jeremiah Love, every down weapon. And Ruben Bain, 4-3 wrecking ball. You know, so that's like the archetypes I have there. Pro comps. Jaquan Brisker is who I think of when looking at Caleb Downs. Kirk Cousins for sure for Fernando Mendoza. I've seen Jared Goff comps. And then I seen another one. Who else did I see? Jared Goff is not a bad one either. I just think the personality on and off the field is just like so Kirk Cousins. And his style of play as well as Kirk Cousins too. And then Jeremiah Love, my pro comp for him is Devin A. Chain. So let me see. RB is not a need for us, though. That's a luxury. We need a wide receiver secondary. Absolutely smooth operator. I think Jaden was just trolling there. Isn't Giants usually known for our defense? Yes. Actually, insane take. What's an insane take? What was the insane take? Who's your take comp? I haven't did my film on tape. I've only watched broadcast film on tape. Like I've only watched games with Carnell Tate in it. So I haven't watched my film on it, so I can't give you a pro comp yet. I can't wait till you watch the player to tell you about it. Don't worry, I will. I will. I'm a little late to it. Usually I have like 20. Usually, guys, I have like, by this time, January 20th, I have like 20 guys I did film on. I'm a little late to it. There was this holiday year, like December, I was so busy for me. Holy moly. It was busy. So, this year's been crazy. So, there's that. All right, guys. I stood on a little longer than I originally planned. We got to talk about John Harbaugh a lot, so that was fun. I'm gonna hop off this now, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Taking Love over Tate, especially for the Giants. Oh no, I think Jaden was just asking a question. I'm not. Wait. I'm not even trolling. If I had to choose between Jeremiah Love and Carnell Tate, I'm taking Love. Jaden, what is wrong with you? Are you on drugs? That's crazy. That's a crazy statement to say, Jaden. I'm not gonna lie. All right, guys. I'm off this. Have a good one, everybody. John Harbaugh is our next head coach. Oh, is our head coach. Oh, I'm so horrible. I'm so horrible. I'm so hardball right now. I am so hardball right now. Let's go, baby. We'll see you guys very, very soon. Later.